TikTok, what up? YouTube, what's good? Facebook, what's poppin'? We here now. This your boy TIZ, aka Yourself. This is All Facts TV. Let's get into the brass tacks of the situation, shall we? As we proceed, what I was going to do is I was going to continue on from the video I did last night. I just basically was talking about King Solomon, how he got the ring, why he needed the ring for the Shamir worm, and it was basically leading up to King Solomon having to contact Asmodeus. I say Asmodeus, sometimes I say Asmodeus. I think it's pronounced Asmodeus, but you get the point. Ultimately, King Solomon has to contact Asmodeus in order to get this Shamir worm. He has to go through these different demons in order to get to Asmodeus because it's like a pecking order. The first four demons that he encounters are the princes of the demons. These are the big dogs of hell. And they all have legions and legions of demons that's under them. They all represent some form of sin, one of the major sins or multiple of the major sins. Remember what I said. This is a fable or a fairy tale and is used to create motion in your mind. So I want you to picture yourself as King Solomon. You are the smartest person in the world. You are the richest person in the world. You are King Solomon and you have all of his responsibilities. You have to be the one that's going to consult demons. Remember what I said before. The first point of contact is temptation. Remember, Solomon needs the Shamir worm. This is his temptation. It's always based in a good intention. Demons use that good intention as temptation in order for them to lead to the next step, which is deception. Where temptation is the bait, deception is the hook. One of the most important things to getting you on the line is the deception. The deception of King Solomon is him having to consult demons in the first place. He prayed to God and asked God for the ring. So why didn't he consult God instead of his advisors when it came down to the problem of actually building the pyramid without tools and actually keeping total silence? He prayed to God for finding the ring. That's how he actually found the ring, by praying to God and having Michael deliver the ring to him. Why didn't he pray to ask God to help him solve the problem? Why did he consult his advisors? I'll tell you why. His ego. He wanted to be the greatest. He wanted to be the smartest. He wanted to go without God. And that was a very slight distraction or deception. That's what got him on the hook. And I do believe that God actually answered his prayers, but I also believe it was a test. As we go into this, you're going to see how the demons fly into the heavenly realm, they go into the firmament, and they eavesdrop on the Elohim. They're able to use God's intentions against the person that God has intentions for. The first demon that King Solomon comes across is Orneus. So let's break him down first. The name Orneus is where we get the word ornery. The name means pesky or annoying. He, like all the demons, is a shapeshifter. Being a shapeshifter is part of being a demon because a shapeshifter has to do with the way the eye perceives the demon. You got to remember, they're living in the spiritual world. Just them being in the physical world is an abomination. They're supposed to be in the realm of the spirit. Now, when we talk about the Nephilim and we talk about the fallen angels, they're two different things. So let's just stay focused on the fact that they're shapeshifters. The demons are the Nephilim. They are the giants that fell in the flood. They have human characteristics and they also have angelic characteristics. The realm of Sheol or hell is a hierarchy. It has fallen angels, it has Nephilim, and then it has very low level demons. This is what we call the Legion. Think of the movie Aliens. I know that's an old school movie, but they've rebooted this thing 1,000 times, so I'm pretty sure everybody understands what Aliens is. Aliens has a queen. The queen would be the fallen angel. Azazel is one of the fallen angels, just for an example. Then you would have the Nephilim. The Nephilim are the big cone-headed aliens that have the mouth that comes out. You know, they drip the stuff out their mouth, and then they hit you in your forehead and kill you. And they have acid for blood and all the rest of this stuff. They have these huge tails. You know what an alien is. I'm sure you guys know what an alien is. And then what happens? That alien or that demon implants an egg or a larvae inside of you. That becomes a parasite. It lives off of your body until it grows and grows and grows until it eventually kills you and becomes a new demon. The man being the demon. That is the Luciferian. Ripley becomes a hybrid. Ripley is basically a modern day Nephilim. She's able to live with the demon inside her without it actually totally taking over her. After that, all of these demons all are connected to the queen, communicating with each other telepathically. They all have what is called hive mentality, or a telepathic communication with the archangel or the queen. Remember, Satan is not the Most High. He always tries to recreate what God does or invert the things that he does. So he tries to make himself as God, being omnipotent and omnipresent. This so-called hierarchy is Satan's way of reproducing the Elohim, God within himself. Satan being the head, the humans being the tail or the servants. Inverting what God's original plan was for man to be the gods over this earth. Replacing himself in the place of Elohim and putting the humans at the bottom of the triangle and making them subservient or slaves. Getting back to Ornius, the Testament of Solomon says that Ornius resides in the constellation of Virgo. That's because he attacks the innocence of virgins. I had to really look into this and investigate this. His name means annoying or troublesome. He also, quote, takes hold of men and plays with them in their sleep. He also transforms himself into a comely woman. So he's described as a succubus. He preys on innocence and vampirizes the sexual energy of virgins. He does this while they sleep. This is a very powerful demon that attacks you while you're vulnerable and weak. It uses your desires to reroute your thinking away from the Most High and into carnal, worldly thoughts. When you entertain these worldly thoughts, you inadvertently grant entrance for these demons into your mind, into your soul, and into the things that you do. This demon feeds on this and vampirizes you the same way it did the child. You are the child when you're beginning to go on your journey towards what you're supposed to be doing for the Most High. Solomon was that child. Solomon gave into carnal, worldly thoughts and got away from what the plan for the Most High actually was. And that is for the Most High to dwell amongst us. We said before that Ornius is a shapeshifter. He shapeshifts from a man to a winged creature to a lion. When he's a man, he craves the body of effeminate boys. When he is a winged creature, he flies into the heavenly realms and eavesdrops on the Elohim. He also shapeshifts into a lion, but there's no specific reason why he changes into a lion. It just says that that's one of his forms. When he's a man, he specifically craves the bodies of effeminate men and causes them extreme pain when he touches them. He also vampirizes, draining virility, physical health and wellness, and their money, while leaving them with enough to stay alive and continue to feed him, sort of like cattle. He claims to come from an archangel, the power of God, which means that God actually uses him. This is one thing I want everyone to understand about God. He will actually use evil. Remember, the nature of a man's heart is evil. This is the reason why you never follow your heart. You always follow what is in your spirit, in your mind, when you're connected with the Ruach HaKodesh, or the Holy Spirit. Now, this is where it gets interesting. And luckily for you, I'm a little bit weird, and I've done all the studying for you. So, he is defeated by the angel Uriel. Uriel is the archangel of wisdom and prophecy. He's also associated with light and nature, exclusively to the sun element. He also rules over Tartarus. and he is an angel of judgment. Orneus came to the child at sunset. He also appeared the second time in a flaming fire. When speaking of the sun, he's not a sun deity. He is the bringer of God's light and God's truth. As far as nature is concerned, he is the prince of the sun. He's the overseer of natural world phenomena. He's also in charge of the underworld, and he is the judgment and the final judgment of the world. This information is important because you got to remember, everything is inversion. Understanding inversion, whether it's demonic or angelic, is understanding the perfection of God. It's understanding that God is in control of all things. All power, whether real, assumed, evil, or good, all come from Yahweh. The difference between assumed power and real power is very simple. When you stop paying your electric bill, then your power gets turned off. You know exactly where that power came from. It came from the light company. But when you think that you have the power to manifest things into existence, that's assumed power, because you believe with your own arrogance and ego that you have the power of God. You are your own God. But the fact of the matter is that power still comes from God, whatever that it was that manifests that thing into existence, because you are thinking about it, or how you are you speak it into existence. That power comes from God, and God was already going to give you that anyway. You didn't manifest it, God gave it to you. When you pray to the Orishas, or when you do voodoo or any different kind of black magic or witchcraft, the power that comes out of it, or the things that you believe that you manifest that come out of it, those were going to be coming to you anyway. Those belong to you anyway. God had already given them to you. Like it will say, and I will prove to you in these writings, the demons fly up to heaven, they eavesdrop in the firmament of heaven, and they come back down and use that which you were already supposed to have, and they give it to you in a inverted kind of way so that you'll worship them. It's all a trick. These demons have no power over your life. Like I said, Satan is simply a maggot, and all of the rest of the demons are simply parasites. The same parasite that is a tapeworm is in your body, or the trichina worm that comes from pork, or the flatworms that come from uncooked meat or from uncooked fish. Sugar creates parasites in your body that you actually feed. This is what gives you athlete's foot and toe fungus and dandruff and things like this. These are parasites and worms that are in your body. These are what the demons are. That's all they are, simply. They cannot give you anything. All they can do is eavesdrop and find out what God already had planned for you and make you believe that they're the ones giving you the power. If you pray for some form of, I don't know, we'll say some witchcraft that is going to give you more money, or it's going to give you longer life, this is money that you already had. And they'll say you do some type of blood sacrifice, and you do it for money. You cut chickens and you spill the blood of chickens for money, or whatever you're deciding you want to do. You are already going to have that money. But because you went to that deity for the money, now the deity has dominion over your life, and it's able to take a part of your life, give you what you already had in that time frame. So we'll say you did something for, a music contract, and you did some type of sacrifice for a music contract, and you got millions and millions of dollars. You're going to make those millions and millions of dollars over a long lifetime. But now they'll give it to you all at once in a short lifetime. And now you'll die before your appointed time. It's very simple. Now, the painting that you see here is of Solomon and Orneus overseeing the building of the temple. An old man who was a laborer came to Solomon. He beckoned to the king and told him about what his younger son was doing to him. The story goes like this. An old man comes to Solomon. He is in total agony about what exactly is going on. So King Solomon asked, "What can I do for you?" The old man was very excited and emotional. "My son is abusing me. He beats me, and he pulls up my beard. Please, king, I need retribution for this. Punish my son. The younger son denies it, and the son and the old man begin to argue back and forth about it. King Solomon tried to reconcile the two and urges the old man to forgive his son. The old man refuses to forgive his son and says he would rather see the young lad put to death for the things that he did. What he did to me is unforgivable. He should be put to death immediately. King Solomon was actually about to pronounce a sentence on the young man. At that very moment, Ornius began to laugh. King Solomon was very upset. Everybody out. Bring Ornius forward immediately. I will not tolerate this insolence. With rage, he looked at Ornius and raised his ring and said, "You accursed one, why did you look at me and laugh?" Ornius answered back, "I'm not laughing at you, king. You are praised and intelligent over all men. I was simply laughing at the old man and the wretched youth." Ornius explained to the king that the son would ultimately die in the next 3 days. Yet the old man, his father, is trying to have him punished and even put to death. He is wanting to destroy and kill someone who was already doomed. Solomon brought the old man and his son back into the room. He told the old man to bring his son back in the next 3 days and for them to try to iron out their differences. 3 days passed and the old man came back by himself, grieving and sobbing. He had just come back from the grave of his son. Ornius was exactly right. King Solomon asked Ornius, "How do you know these things? How did you know that the younger son would die?" Ornius explained that I metamorphosed myself into a winged creature. I fly into the firmament of heaven. I then overhear the sentences and decrees that will be placed on human beings. Because I have nothing to hold on to while I'm in the firmament, I fall back to the earth like lightning. People that witness me believe that I am the stars that are falling out of the sky. When I strike the earth, I leave huge craters and create earthquakes. Again, this is an old fable that explains how demons really have no power. They fly into the firmament of heaven and they eavesdrop on the Elohim and find out what's going on with men. And they use that information to deceive men. Everything that happens with a demon is all deception. You must follow the Most High, Yahweh God. Yahweh is the power behind everything. And if you don't actually follow him, then you're doomed. You're doomed in this lifetime and you're doomed in the next lifetime. Listen, the things that people have are just an illusion. When they sit up in those big, huge mansions all by themselves and they got to ride around in these expensive cars and they go to these parties that nobody likes them, it's all warfare. It's not what you expect it to be. As you are poor and you're actually looking at this stuff, you're looking at this stuff as if it is the end all be all because you're suffering. You know, my life, I'm not living how I want to live, and that's okay with me. I understand that my life has purpose. I understand that there are ups and downs in my life and I must be patient. I understand these things, but it took me a very long time and a lot of experience to understand the ups and downs in life, the ebbs and flows, and how to actually trust God. It takes a very long time to learn how to have a relationship with God, to actually learn how to pray to him, to have the Ruach HaKodesh inside of you, and how God actually speaks to you, how to listen to him. These things take time, but it takes way more time to learn how to do witchcraft. It takes way more time to learn how to do all of these spells and things that never actually work. You'll try a spell 1,000 different times and it'll only work once. And it always goes exactly the opposite of what you think it is. We'll say, for an example, you'll be in jail and somebody will do some Santeria or something, and they'll do some spell that will get you home. We'll say you're in jail, you're on a murder charge, and you're not supposed to be coming home for the next 30 years. They do some spell with Santeria, and they say, oh, you'll be home in 2 weeks. Some crazy thing happens and you come home in 2 weeks, but your mother dies when you come home and you get to go to her funeral. I mean, it could be something like that. This is just an example off the top of my head. I'm just saying the devil is a liar. The devil is a liar every single time. You must trust God. So with that, I'm going to end this video and we're going to get on with the next video. In the next video, I'm going to be going into more information about Beelzebub, the king of all demons. And I'm going to tell you what King Solomon actually had to do and how Beelzebub actually tricked King Solomon, the wisest man in the world, and how he actually tricked him. I'm also going to be talking about Asmodeus. I'm also going to be talking about Anaskeles. So we have 3 more demons to get through. So y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. I'm sure y'all can tell that I have a lot more energy today, and I just got to push these videos out as much as possible. Please excuse me. I'm going to get better and better as I go. When I get to about 150 videos, then I'll be just getting started on, being a pretty good editor and a good speaker and a good videographer. But for those of you that kept up with me, and maybe if you made it this long into the video, please subscribe, because if you made it this long with this much information, that means you're interested. It don't cost nothing just to tap that screen and hit the like button. It don't cost nothing for you to make a comment. There's a little bit of extra step, but maybe you can make a comment, or even better, you can share the video so other people can see it. That being said, I just appreciate everything you guys do. You guys have a blessed day. May Yahuwah stay with you, and may he bless us to see each other another day. Peace. Oh yeah, don't forget about Plain Planet. The inspiration behind Plain Planet is not just some flat earth conspiracy theory. It's the idea that your vision in life belongs to you. You don't have to believe something that you've learned in school. You don't have to believe something that science tells you is true. You can believe what you want to believe. You could be who you want to be. This is the essence of Plain Planet. Plain Planet is a clothing line. It's a Christian clothing line on top of it that you can actually wear and be proud of. This ain't churchy or Bible thumping. This is a quality streetwear brand. This is Plain Planet. Clothing you can believe in.
Dreams come true, and I wonder if you know.